I'd like to talk about Jesus' father. It was by chance that with a silly conversation with my grandmother, but she told me who he was, and it was all a mistake, and I had to swear that I wouldn't tell anybody on the Bible, and therefore I have believed all my life that I knew who Jesus' father was, and therefore I looked at it in a way that nobody else has looked at it, because most people think that he murdered Jesus, and therefore he couldn't possibly have been working with him very closely. But in fact, we need some explanation as to how 70 disciples who were to go to all the countries in the world could possibly be afforded by Jesus on his own. And he obviously had quite a bit of money because he fed 5,000 men, let alone their wives and children. These are diagrams demonstrating the possibility that Jesus was a very rich man because he twice had his feet dried by women's hair. Ordinary Jews at the time of Christ sat cross-legged round a mat spread with food and drink. Mary Magdalene and Mary, sister of Lazarus, would have to crouch in the middle of the food, showing their bottoms, and worse still, the soles of their feet, to the other guests. The impracticability of this suggests Jesus was not an ordinary Jew. Eating at a trestle table, as drawn by Leonardo da Vinci, would have been most unusual. The Marys, washing Jesus' feet and drying them with their hair, would have been kicked under the table and had to put their hair on the dirty floor. Rooms measuring 33 foot by 18 foot are not built today in houses costing less than £1 million, especially an upper room. A plan showing the minimum size of a dining room in the houses of three of Jesus' friends, John, the beloved disciple, Lazarus, and Judas Iscariot's father. The plan shows seating for Jesus, 12 apostles and his host, who might have 2 sons. Notice this does not allow any room for women, but then women may have been too inferior to have eaten with our Lord. He must have had a valuable robe for the soldiers to have played dice for it. If Jesus ate in luxury, like a Roman lying on a couch, it would be easy for him to have his feet dried by women's hair. The 2 Marys would be well away from the other guests. The candles being on the table with the food would probably have cast dark shadows, so the hands slipped up Jesus' robe would go unnoticed. Do Christians call Mary Magdalene a prostitute because they realized Jesus had no underpants? John 12 says the ointment used for his feet, called spikenard, cost 300 silver denarii, save £5,000 today. Judas Iscariot said it should be sold and the money given to the poor. Jesus rebuked him, saying, "The poor are always with us. I am here for only a short time." An odd thing for an immortal God to say when the poor might die from starvation. Jesus was born of a natural father. He was not born of Joseph and Mary. They were not married at the time when he was born. They were traveling together and things. And then somebody sent 3 very important people to give gold and frankincense and myrrh. Again, only a very rich or important person would be able to produce that. And I think the person that produced that was his father. And there are so many tiny little things in the Bible that make this clear. For instance, 7 of Jesus's disciples were definitely related to the man I think was his father, and someone else has written a book saying all 12 were. And because almost the most important thing that Jesus does is cleanse the temple of traders, which is what makes his father's family so unbelievably rich, is again another clue. But all these clues are very small ones that point, but it is just so pervasive throughout the Bible and history and things. But therefore, I come to the conclusion that he must have been his father. These are my thoughts, and I want to hear your thoughts, so please comment below.